Hello everyone, I'm Anna and welcome back to our channel, English Buddy Daily.
Hi guys, I'm Mark. Thanks for tuning in again. It's great to have you with us on English Buddy Daily.
We hope you're all doing well. So Mark, how's your day been going so far? You look like you have something on your mind.
Well, Anna, I have a confession. This morning, I was supposed to write a report for work, but I ended up watching funny cat videos for an hour.
Oh no, caught by the cat videos. Let me guess, you procrastinated on your work.
I totally did. I procrastinated, meaning I delayed or postponed doing the important thing I needed to do. Instead of working, I distracted myself.
Don't feel too bad, Mark. We've all been there. I procrastinate sometimes too. Actually, more than I'd like to admit.
I think almost everyone does it at some point. In fact, I bet a lot of our listeners struggle with procrastination as well.
Definitely. It's very common. I read a statistic the other day that about 90% of college students procrastinate regularly, and roughly 1 in 5 adults are chronic procrastinators. Chronic means doing something repeatedly or all the time, so a chronic procrastinator is someone who procrastinates habitually.
1 in 5 adults? Wow, that's a lot. So I'm not alone in this. It's comforting to know it's common, but it's still a problem, isn't it? Why do we procrastinate even when we know it can lead to stress or trouble later?
Good question. Why do we do this to ourselves? Well, sometimes we procrastinate because the task we need to do just isn't enjoyable. When something is boring or unpleasant, it's so tempting to do something fun instead. We prefer short-term enjoyment over long-term benefits. We seek instant gratification.
Instant gratification. That means wanting an immediate reward or pleasure right now rather than waiting for a better reward later. And yes, it's a big reason for procrastination. Doing something fun now, like watching TV or playing games, gives us instant gratification, and the serious task gets pushed aside.
Quick science break. Our brain has 2 voices. The prefrontal cortex helps with planning and self-control, long-term goals. The limbic system wants comfort and fun right now.
When we procrastinate, the limbic system is louder for a moment. Fun things give quick dopamine, a brain chemical that makes us feel rewarded, so we choose them instead of the hard task.
This is called present bias. We prefer a small reward now, a video, a snack, over a bigger reward later, a good grade, a clean report.
Our brain also does temporal discounting. We quote-unquote value future rewards less. A result next month feels weak compared to a joke that makes us laugh this minute.
Exactly. For example, if I have an essay to write that's due next week, but I'm not in the mood, I might decide to watch a movie instead because it makes me happy now. The essay can feel far away, so I choose the immediate fun.
I do that too. We kind of trick ourselves thinking, I'll just enjoy this for a bit and do the work later. Another reason we procrastinate is when a task feels too big or too hard. If something is overwhelming, it's easy to avoid it.
Oh yes, when I have a huge project or a long to-do list, I sometimes feel overwhelmed, meaning I feel like it's just too much to handle. That feeling of, where do I even start, can make us put off the task because we don't know how to begin.
Exactly. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain of work and feeling intimidated. So instead of taking the first step, we procrastinate.
Another big factor is fear of failure or anxiety about the task. If we're afraid we won't do a good job, we delay starting. I've seen people, myself included, procrastinate because deep down they worry about failing or not being perfect.
That's so true. I confess, sometimes I postpone work because I want it to be perfect. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I want everything I do to be excellent. A perfectionist is a person who wants everything to be perfect. And perfectionism, the desire to do things perfectly, can actually lead to procrastination. It sounds ironic, but it happens.
Right. If you're too busy imagining the perfect result, you might never start because you're scared of making mistakes. I've definitely fallen into that trap. If I can't do it perfectly, I'll wait until I can do it perfectly. But of course, that just leads to last-minute panicking.
I know, it's ironic. In trying to be perfect, we end up rushing and doing a less than perfect job at the last minute.
Exactly. Now, another obvious reason we procrastinate is distractions. Our world is full of distractions.
Oh, yes, especially our phones and the internet. A distraction is something that takes your attention away from what you're doing. Like, I'll sit down to work, but then I get a notification on my phone and suddenly I'm scrolling through social media or messaging a friend.
Same here. I might say, I'll just check Instagram for 5 minutes, and then dramatic voice, poof, 30 minutes are gone. Or I start looking up one thing for my research and end up watching a random YouTube video.
Or 10 random YouTube videos, plus a series of funny memes. Those kind of distractions can completely derail us.
They really do. And once we get distracted, we've lost our momentum. Then it's hard to get started again on the real task.
I think procrastination can also become a habit. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking. If every time I have a tough task, I automatically go, I'll do it later, and play a game instead, I've developed a procrastination habit.
Great point. The more we procrastinate, the more it can become our default behavior. Like your brain starts expecting to procrastinate whenever there's something challenging to do.
Right, and let's not forget simple laziness or feeling tired can play a role. Sometimes after a long day, you just don't feel like doing anything, so you procrastinate tasks because you're low on energy.
True, our mood and energy level affect it. If I'm exhausted or feeling down, I'm much more likely to put things off. We often wait until we're in the mood to work, but that mood doesn't come.
And there's also the thought, I have plenty of time. At the start of a project or when a deadline is far away, I always think I have lots of time to finish later. That can be a dangerous mindset.
Yes, we underestimate how quickly time passes. Suddenly, the deadline is tomorrow and we're freaking out. By the way, a deadline is the final time or date by which you need to get something done. Basically, the due date.
I've definitely been in the plenty of time, oh no, it's due tomorrow situation. And then I end up cramming, trying to do a huge amount of work or studying in a short amount of time because I delayed it. Cramming the night before an exam is so stressful.
I've pulled a few all-nighters myself, cramming for test after procrastinating. It's not fun.
No, it's not. And procrastination has real consequences. We get stressed, we might miss opportunities, or do poorly on the task, and we feel guilty afterwards.
Yep, consequences are the results of our actions. The consequences of procrastinating can be pretty painful, like a lower grade, a missed deadline at work, or just that awful stress and guilt.
I once heard someone say, procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill.
Oh, I love that quote. It really sums us up. Procrastinating feels good in the moment. That's the fun part. But later on, you get the bill in the form of panic or negative outcomes.
Exactly. We enjoy our free time now, but later we pay for it with stress. So, given all that, what can we do about it? We know why we procrastinate. The big question is how to avoid doing it so much.
Great point. Let's talk about how to stop procrastinating, or at least procrastinate less. There are lots of strategies we can try.
One strategy I find helpful is breaking a big task into smaller parts.
Oh, yes, that's a fantastic strategy, which means a planned method or approach to achieve something. If a task feels huge, divide it into bite-sized chunks. For example, if you have to write a 10-page paper, set a goal to write just one page or even just the introduction first.
That way, it's less intimidating. I often find that once I complete that small part, I've built some momentum and I want to keep going to the next part.
Definitely. Breaking down tasks works wonders. Another tip, just start for a short time. Tell yourself you'll do 5 minutes of work on the task, even just 5 minutes.
Totally. I use that trick too. I say, okay, I'll work on this for 5 minutes and then I can stop if I really want to. Usually when the 5 minutes are up, I realize, hey, this isn't so bad. And then I continue working longer without even noticing. Getting started is the hardest part.
Exactly. Once you start, you often keep going. Sometimes I use even a smaller rule, the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to do, I do it immediately rather than procrastinate. And if it's a big thing, I commit just 2 minutes to it at first. It's like tricking my brain into action. There's a classic effect called the Zeigarnik effect.
Unfinished tasks stay active in your mind like a small mental itch. So when you just start for 2 to 5 minutes, your brain opens a loop and wants to close it. That gentle tension pulls you back to continue. Another thing that helps is rewarding yourself. Promise yourself a small reward for finishing a task or even for completing one chunk of work.
Yes, I do that too. For example, I might say, if I finish writing this section of the report, I'll treat myself to a cup of coffee and a cookie. Or when I complete this chapter of studying, I get to watch one episode of my favorite show. Having a reward to look forward to can boost your motivation, which is your desire or a reason to do something.
Right. Rewards make you motivated because you know there's something enjoyable waiting for you after the work.
We should also talk about removing distractions. If you know that your phone or the TV or certain websites are your weak spot, try to eliminate those distractions while you work.
For sure. Put your phone on silent or in another room. There are even apps that block social media for a time. I sometimes use those so I'm not even tempted to open Facebook or YouTube when I'm supposed to be working.
That's smart. I often physically tidy my workspace and turn off the TV, anything to create an environment where it's easier to focus.
Another tip, use deadlines to your advantage. If something doesn't have a deadline, set one for yourself. Write it on your calendar or tell someone about it so you feel a sense of urgency.
Oh yes, accountability is key. I find that if I tell someone else my goal or deadline, I'm more likely to stick to it because I don't want to let them down. For example, I might tell a friend, I'll have that job application done by Sunday. Now I have an accountability partner. That friend can check in and say, hey, did you finish it?
Exactly. An accountability partner is someone who keeps you accountable, meaning responsible for doing what you said you'd do. I actually did that recently. I was procrastinating on going to the gym, so I started going with a friend. We became accountability partners for each other. If one of us tries to skip, the other one pushes us to go.
That's a great approach. Sometimes willpower alone isn't enough, and a little outside accountability gives you that extra push.
Another important thing is not to wait until you feel like doing the task. We often wait for inspiration or energy to magically appear, but if we keep waiting, the work still won't get done.
So true. We have to cultivate self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, even when you don't feel like it. It's like being your own coach and saying, all right, time to get this done, regardless of mood.
Right. Think of self-discipline like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first few times you push yourself to start working can be hard, but it gets easier as you build that habit.
Exactly. You can't rely on motivation alone because motivation comes and goes. But if you build discipline, you'll work through those moments when you have no motivation. And funny enough, once you start, the motivation often shows up after you begin.
I agree. Another strategy I've tried is the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of that?
Oh, the Pomodoro technique? Yes, I use it sometimes. Why don't you explain it for our listeners?
Sure. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method. Basically, you work for a focused period of time, traditionally 25 minutes, and then take a short break of 5 minutes. Each 25-minute work session is called a Pomodoro, which is Italian for tomato, named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer the inventor used. After 4 Pomodoro sessions, you take a longer break.
I love the Pomodoro technique because it makes work feel more manageable. I tell myself I only had to concentrate for 25 minutes. Then I get a break. It's amazing how much you can get done in those focus bursts. And the breaks keep my mind fresh.
Exactly. It's like a game against the clock, and it can even be fun to see how many Pomodoros it takes to finish something.
We should also mention prioritizing your tasks. Sometimes procrastination happens because we're not sure what to do first, so we do nothing. If you prioritize, which means rank your tasks by importance or urgency, you can tackle the important things first.
Yes, I try to prioritize my to-do list each day. I pick a couple of must-do tasks in the morning when I have the most energy. That way, even if I procrastinate later in the day, the critical stuff is done.
That's a smart approach. There's a saying, eat the frog first. It means do the hardest or least pleasant task first in the morning, like you eat a nasty frog first, so everything else seems easy by comparison.
I've heard that one. Eat the frog. It sounds funny, but it's a good philosophy. When you finish your toughest task early, you feel accomplished and the rest of the day feels easier.
And it prevents that particular task from hanging over your head all day. I find I'm much more productive, meaning I get more done when I knock out a big task early on.
The same here. When I productively use my morning, the whole day goes better.
Also, make your task as easy as possible to start. For example, if you need to write, open your document and jot down a rough outline the night before. If you need to work out in the morning, lay out your exercise clothes ahead of time. Little tricks like that remove barriers to getting started.
Good idea. And maybe most importantly, be kind to yourself. If you slip up and procrastinate, don't just give up. Instead of thinking I'm hopeless, just acknowledge it and try to get back on track. No one is 100% disciplined all the time.
Absolutely. Everyone procrastinates occasionally. The goal is to catch yourself and improve bit by bit. If you procrastinated yesterday, you can try a small change today. Don't beat yourself up. Just start again.
I like that. Positive attitude. And celebrate the wins when you do overcome procrastination. Like when I finally finish a task I've been avoiding, I'll do a little victory dance because it is an accomplishment.
Totally. I do a happy dance when I check something off my list that I've been putting off. It feels so good, and it reminds me why not procrastinating is worth it.
In the end, it feels much better to have things done on time than to procrastinate and stress later.
Exactly. So to sum up, we procrastinate for many reasons. It could be for immediate fun, feeling overwhelmed, a fear of failure, distractions, habit. But there are plenty of ways to fight it. By using some of these techniques, we can all procrastinate less and get more done with less stress.
Well said. I'm feeling inspired to tackle my tasks now. Maybe I'll finally clean that messy room of mine after we finish recording.
I'll believe it when I see it, Mark. But I'm rooting for you. Okay, before we wrap up, how about we quickly recap some of the useful vocabulary we used today?
Great idea. Let's go over some of the words and phrases. Procrastinate is when you keep pushing a task to later, even though you know you should start now. Procrastination is that repeating pattern of delaying until it hurts your progress.
Instant gratification means grabbing a quick pleasure today instead of a bigger payoff later.
A deadline is the exact time or date when the work must be finished.
Feeling overwhelmed is when the job looks so big your brain kind of freezes.
A perfectionist waits for the perfect moment or perfect result, which often means never starting.
A distraction is anything, usually your phone, that steals your attention from the main thing.
The prefrontal cortex helps you plan, make decisions, and stick to long-term goals.
The limbic system pulls you toward comfort and easy fun right now.
Dopamine is the brain's "that felt good" signal that makes quick fun so tempting.
Present bias is our tendency to prefer a small reward now over a bigger one later.
With temporal discounting, tomorrow's benefits feel weaker than today's pleasures.
The Zeigarnik effect means once you begin, Unfinished work keeps nudging you to come back.
Temporal motivation theory says motivation rises when success feels likely and meaningful and falls when the payoff is far away or temptations are strong.
Expectancy is how sure you feel that you can actually succeed at this.
Value is how much the outcome matters to you personally.
Delay is simply how far in the future the payoff sits.
Impulsiveness is how easily shiny temptations can pull you off course.
Decision paralysis is that stuck feeling when too many choices make it hard to start.
Cognitive load is the mental effort it takes just to think and begin.
Accountability is when someone else knows your plan and you feel responsible to follow through.
Self-discipline is doing the important thing even when you don't feel like it.
To prioritize means putting the most important work first so the day doesn't slip away.
Great job. That's quite a list of new words and phrases.
Yeah, we covered a lot. We hope you guys found those words helpful for your English vocabulary, as well as the tips helpful for, well, life.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to English Buddy Daily. We hope you enjoyed our little chat about procrastination and maybe learned a thing or two about how to handle it.
We definitely had fun discussing it. And hey, now that you've listened to this, no procrastinating. Go tackle that task that you've been putting off. Just kidding. Take it one step at a time.
Right, no pressure. We're all working on procrastinating less. If you liked today's episode, be sure to tune in again tomorrow for more fun conversations and useful English practice.
We really appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to share this podcast with friends who might also enjoy improving their English with us.
Until next time, have a wonderful day, everyone, and good luck beating that procrastination habit. You've got this.
Thanks for listening and see you next time on English Buddy Daily.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.